Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another NuubCast. I wish I would stop saying ladies and gentlemen. It's just like this thing that's ingrained in you. It just comes out, even though you don't want to say it, because you know that there's no ladies watching. It's only gentlemen. And you don't want to say greetings, gentlemen. It's always better to say ladies and gentlemen. You know, if I was Day 9 and I had 10,000 people watching me cast, then there'd be a much better chance of there being a lady in the mix, but not in this case. This is a NuubCast, and there's 100 subscribers, and you're all noobs, including myself, the biggest noob of all. And this is a 1v1 on, you guessed it, it's Scrap Station, because I'm looking at a Zerg, and this is a Zerg map because Zergs love it. And this is Scythe. Scythe spawning here on the right side as the Red Terran. And Coolluigi, the purveyor of this fine replay, spawning here as the Blue Terran. Always a fun matchup on Scrap Station, the Zerg versus Terran. All kinds of different things you can do, obviously, with the close map position via air. Always, there's always the possibility of fast Mutalisks or cloaked Banshees. Early game can always be very just tense and just fearful for the players. Always wondering what your opponent might be doing, and so it's always very important to get this early scout to see if he's going that expansion early, to see if he's going to be one base teching to a lair. Always important to see if your Terran opponent is going barracks first or going 1-1-1 quickly. So scouting, even though the distance is so huge on this map, scouting very important. The Zerg does have the advantage for scouting on this map because he does have the flying farm called the Overlord that can quickly come across and find out what his opponent is doing. As we see, we've got the expansion already up, Ling's already out, and drones already being transferred, so that economic advantage already coming into play for the Zerg player. But of course Terran has mules, which will, as we look at the income, keep him right there with the Terran who is just droning up on his expansion. So even though the Zerg has the expansion right now, what we are seeing is well, we're seeing some Lings dying, but we're seeing a financial advantage at this point to the Terran player. But the Zerg will quickly catch up as we see a second Queen coming out, several Lings going down, and the metabolic boost being researched for those Zerglings. Always fun to have speedy Lings on the field. Pardon me. Sometimes talking makes you cough. It just happens. We have a Baneling nest quickly going down for Scythe. And my phone is ringing. And I'm going to ignore that call. Yes, if you heard that, you were not mistaken. That was like a G6 is my ringer. I'm ashamed to admit. A little bit ashamed. A little bit of marine macro coming in. Just as the metabolic boost finishes, and so those Marines are not going to be able to macro away. All of them are going to die, perish at the hands of these Lings, but were able to do a lot of damage. Scythe having to bring out those drones to help, and maybe he didn't. Maybe he would have lost a few more Lings, as I am being made aware that I have a voicemail. But that is that. Now these remaining Marines, Metanas, retreating back to their base. Gonna pop up that farm once they get in there and buckle up for a fight. We have the single static spine crawler. We don't see any Banelings yet, but believe it, they're coming, as we have the Zerglings pecking away at this destructible rock. We have the command center going down for Coolluigi. Coolluigi. Luigi is pretty cool. Let's go. I'm Luigi. Yeah, I'm not sure if your name is Luigi that I mean, I don't know. Maybe his name's not Luigi. It is a StarCraft name. But, you know, Luigi, I always think of Mario Brothers, as we see lots of Lings flooding across the field. You know, you think of Mario Brothers, and Luigi was always the guy who never really got played. Everybody was like Mario. Luigi was like the sidekick. Even in the movies, you know, Mario's the main guy, and Luigi's like the sidekick. So Luigi's cool, but he ain't that cool. And now all these Lings are sitting right here. We got a puddle of Marines, couple of Marauders coming in, and going to be throwing down these barracks. I'm surprised that Scythe is not moving in before those barracks are finished. And Banelings just being produced right over here, right under the nose of these units, and obviously Coolluigi not able to see what's happening right under his nose. And they have spawned, and they are going to run right in here and do all sorts of fun damage. Boom! Oh, no! What? Wow. Wow. Able to kill both barracks and several units. And now we see the units lost tab. Lots of lost units for Coolluigi. But we do see a second orbital command, the combat shield, stim going down, and the pathogen glands for fast pathogen glands. That's fungal growth, right? Yeah. Yep. Oh no. Increasing starting energy of infestors. Infestors do not have to research fungal growth, but we will be seeing infestors on the field as my coffee tries to make a return appearance. The expansion down for Coolluigi, though I don't even think he knows that. Let me see. Does Luigi know that these rocks have been broken? Yes, he does. He sees the rocks are broken. So I'm surprised he hasn't salvaged one of those and moved it down here for the sake of protecting his expansion, because these guys are not going to let him do a whole lot, as we again have that energy for infestors just finished. Still no infestors being created by our Zergian player. We just have more drones, which is always good, and more Lings, which when you're going Ling Bling is always a good thing. Ling Bling Infestor is not the normal build for Zerg, as far as I know. It's usually Ling Bling Muta, and then you have Infestors coming in later as like a mid to late game, but this is actually a nice build by the Zerg. Now, craziness, just going to take out all these SCVs, not even going to have to use his Banelings, but this tank going to take out most of them. They're not even going to get a hit off. These Zerglings are going to run away, but unless this gets repaired, it is going to die. But it looks like he has an SCV on the case. Yep, it is repairing. We'll quickly put out that fire. We have a starport down. We have armory down. Is that going to? Are we going to see Thors? Not sure. I mean, Thors will take a ton of damage from your Banelings, but I'm not sure that it's the best play here. In fact, because I don't play Terran, like honestly, if you ask me, I would have a hard time answering like what's the best response for Ling Bling and now Infestors. I would say, I mean, you got to say air. I mean, right? I mean, you have to get Banshees. And he's getting a reactor, so he's not getting Banshees. Maybe he's getting Vikings, thinking that he's going to, or maybe he's getting health ships. That's probably was getting medevacs. But you really do need, if you're going to survive this, and this is excellent. This is a smart way to play, splitting up your Marines into small groups. If you watched, luckily, just 2 nights ago, on Day 9's cast, he did a fantastic cast on how to deal with mid-game Banelings. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you go and check it out. He talked about this, splitting up your units. He also talked about something he called slicing, so where you grab like 2 or 3 units in order to move them in different directions. as a very good move by the Terran to come out and spot this. But we get a fungal growth right away, which is going to bring most of these units down into the red. If these banelings are allowed to finish, it is going to be big damage. Oh, and the Terran loses most of his units there to the banelings. My goodness. Losing the vast majority of his forces there, but continuing to push here. Going to be able to take out this expansion. Good move for Coolluigi. We see Burrow is finished, and Infestors are out on the field, as we've already witnessed by the fungal growth. Terran continuing to get his upgrades. Infantry level 1 just finishing now, as we see yet another hatch going down immediately after the previous one was destroyed. Ling's going to go down and check out this high yield and be sure that there's no funny business going on there. More tanks, more marines, more marauders coming out for Coolluigi. Bunkers down, but empty as more units yet come out. Ling's, oh, they're going to be taking down these rocks here to try and cut off these forces, but so many Zerglings coming out in the field. 4 more Infestors being made. We're going to see a total of, as we see the first Thor coming out, 56 Zerglings on the field. Wow. 24 Marines, a Thor, but now many, I guess only 16 of those Zerglings being morphed into banelings, which, I mean, that's pretty much when you've only got 25 Marines or so. Those banelings you just heard spawn, and these, wow, a lot of Infestors. 9 Infestors on the field. Speed for the banelings going down right now. And we do have the movement for these burrowed Infestors going down right now. Infestors looks like they're going to go in first, perhaps for some fungal growthing, and then the Lings and banelings are going to come up, and it just doesn't look like it's even going to be close. Are they going to do infested Terrans in the middle of this force? Wait for the tanks to siege, maybe? What's going to happen? Lings are going to charge in. Infestors are going to come. They're not... What's happening here? Almost all the banelings, they did do some damage, but most of the banelings died. Still quite a force left here. The Infestors are just going to spawn infested Terrans, and with this many banelings, it's gonna, with this many Infestors, it's gonna be enough. This many infested Terrans are just going to kill them all. Even though he lost most of his Infestors, that force just demolished that Terran army. Still, we have yet another Thor being having been warped in. More ground units. All these infested Terrans are about to bust. They have another command center going down, but look at these Zerglings. Oh man. Unit tab, we have again 57 Zerglings on the field. Not even going to morph them into banelings this time, just going to come in, get a surround on these units, and I don't think there's any way for, although he did jump in these bunkers, nothing underground, although we do see the Infestors there, more infested Terrans coming in, but this is going to lock it up, and this is going to be GG. Yep, there it is from Coolluigi. Good on you, Coolluigi, for submitting a good loss. We got to see some great Zerg tactics with Ling, Bling, and Infestor with no mutas. One of the few times I've seen that play, and I like it. And thanks to Scythe for coming along. And we'll probably see some more from Coolluigi. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep climbing that ladder.